What do Libya and Cyprus have in common? Well, when they needed an energy solution following disaster, they called APR Energy. APR specializes in setting up temporary power plants on short notice. The plants that APR sets up in days would take years to set up on a permanent basis. And as energy efficiency is a big focus right now in Washington, the White House has taken note of this. Penny Pritzker, U.S. Secretary of Commerce, recently noted, quote, APR Energy is a tremendous example of the work U.S. businesses are doing to support economic development. John Campion is the co-founder and CEO of APR Energy, which has changed the way energy is being provided to recovering nations. He joins me right now. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
You have a very interesting background. I want to get to that in just a moment because it involves music and rock and roll. But first of all, give me sort of an idea of what your company does. You know, if a country's really struggling, has a blackout situation, how do you guys change it?
Here's a good example. In Japan, after the tsunami and earthquake, earthquake and subsequent tsunami, 45 days after that, we signed a contract. And then 45 days after that, we delivered over 200 megawatt up and running in Japan, which is a phenomenal achievement. That would normally take 3 to 4 years.
How can you do it in 45 days, something that's going to take 3 or 4 years?
It's very modular. It's modular. It's designed to be erected and constructed extremely fast.
But only to last a certain amount of time?
No, it's the same technology that could be there for 30 years.
Well, then why wouldn't everybody just always call you? I mean, 45 days versus 3, 4 years, I'm sold.
Absolutely, but sometimes you're looking for a bit more efficiency, and a definitive installation is slightly more efficient than we are.
Now, to your background for a moment, how did a background in rock and roll translate to energy? Walk us through that, how you got started and everything.
So from Mick Jagger to Jack Welch to President of Myanmar.
Okay, so where does Mick Jagger fit into all this?
I came to America in 1984 from Ireland, and I worked as a lighting guy, rock and roll tours. And there wouldn't be enough power in a stadium, so I said, there's got to be a better way to do this. So put some money together, put some engines in boxes, and supply power. Michael Jackson was one of my first customers, and we supplied power. And we were in Australia. There was a few issues.
So when they're on tour at a concert, you got to be able to set this thing up in probably a couple of days.
A day.
A day.
So we're in Australia with Michael, and there was some power problems, not my equipment. And Frank DeLeo, Michael's manager, and Benny Collins, the production manager, said, John, we've got to fix the problem. So I said, this is what we'll do. And oh, by the way, I need $100,000. So Michael gave us an advance on the tour. We built the machines, and there we go. So we built that business up to providing power to everybody, the Rolling Stones, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Pink Floyd, on a global basis. Sold it to General Electric, Jack Welch.
Yes.
And built it up to GE Energy Rentals. And then in 2001, I left, started another business, and this is where I am today.
And so what are you guys working on currently? What projects do you have going on?
Well, currently we're preparing for getting all our spare parts in place for Ramadan in Libya. Ramadan's coming up, so there'll be a huge demand for electricity, but not a lot of work in terms of being able to work on the machinery. So taking care of our customers, we just brought online a project in Myanmar, developing more business in Angola and more business in South America.
All right. Well, what a fascinating project. We're going to talk a little bit more about it, so don't go anywhere. I do want to go over to Pim Fox, who's joining me to tell me what's coming up on Taking Stock. Pim.
All right. Thanks very much, Trish. Yes, coming up 5 p.m. Eastern on Taking Stock, multi-billion-dollar businesswoman Kathy Ireland is going to talk all about what's next for her brand. That's coming up at 5 p.m. Eastern. More Street Smart next.
Okay, I'm here with John Campion, co-founder and CEO of APR Energy, which has really changed the way energy is being provided to recovering nations. We were saying earlier how you can go in and within 45 days put together an entire energy structure to make sure that, people have lights and electricity, and you learned it in part from being a lighting director in the rock and roll business.
Lighting director would have been an upstep for where I was. I was a fourth guy in a 5-man lighting crew.
You were on the lighting crew. You didn't have a lot of education. You didn't go to college?
No.
You were held back twice?
A couple of times, yes.
So what's that tell you about education and success?
No, I was lucky and hard work, and I come from a very hard-working family, and I have had some great support in my life. I mean, we built this business from $5 million to $500 million in less than 10 years.
Amazing.
In a capital-intensive business, internationally, and supplying, critical power to customers all over the world. And you go to Myanmar and you see children that can study because they've got electricity. That's bringing it full circle.
How long did it take you to put that together in Myanmar?
100 days.
Oh. And now they've got electricity.
And they can study, right? They can do homework because there's light.
Hey, you don't know. I mean, that's the reality of the developing world, of course. You need to have access to power. And you're helping to do it. John Campion, APR CEO, thank you so much. That's it for today's edition of Street Smart. I'm going to see you right back here tomorrow.